This is recorded. So I'll have to go in and change my password. Anyways, during that time, I hope no one goes in and actually starts shopping, on my Amazon. So we can go in, and since we are running this in the cloud, we go in here and we see how things are. So instead of this using my poor i3 computer, it's just gonna go in and test everything in the cloud. Okay, thank you. Um, because I mean, if I have so much invested, I have millions invested, I want to make sure that everyone is able to run my app. Everyone is able to go onto Amazon.com, Amazon.ca, or whatever the region is. Based on that, everyone is able to go on it and is able to shop. That's what I'm here for, right? I am a store. I mean, if I have a physical store, I want to make sure that the way, the pathway, the door is fine. And, like, people are able to come into my store to be able to shop. All sorts of people. I mean, I wouldn't make the door very short. I wouldn't make it huge. I mean, so that, I mean, unnecessarily big. So I mean, I wouldn't make it so thin that, I mean, only people, people like me wouldn't be able to fit through that door. So all of that for that. So basically, the door is going to be compatible. So what you would be doing, you would have to check it against everyone. So you check it against my size, you check it against that person's size, you check it against that person's size, you check it against everyone's size, and based on that, you design your door. So what we are able to do over here using Sauce Labs, I mean, if someone isn't clear about this, we can run on different OS, different browsers, different browser versions for that matter. I mean, not everyone is like us, or I mean like me, who would want to update everything. I mean, my browser would be up to date, my OS would be the latest one, maybe. Or maybe I have an older computer, one day I decide to take it out, and that one is actually 10.8, and I am running Chrome version 35 on it. But now there's, I mean, those versions and those, like, that version and that OS probably doesn't support some new feature. So if it doesn't support it, so it should replace that with something else. Again, I would still be able to shop. I would still be able to spend my money over there, right? That's the purpose. So which is why you would have something like this. You'll be dealing with this company who will provide you with all of these. So using the parameters, you'll just pass whatever environment you want to test it on, test it in, and that's it. It will test all these for you. So without me using my own computer's resources, I'm able to run the test on whatever. I don't even have that environment for that matter. Let's say I'm using a Windows, or I want to test it. I'm using a Mac, and I want to make sure that people are able to get onto my website using a Windows computer. So I don't have my, I don't have the money to buy another computer just to test this one. Or I don't have the resources to get to a Windows computer or to that OS or to that and every OS costs money too. So that would mean I would have to buy Windows 8, Windows 8 point something, Windows 10, Windows Server, Mac OS. All of these I would have to have a copy of these running in various virtual machines or various computers, and I would go in and test individually. No, I can't afford that. I'd rather pay someone else, someone like this company, to test it on, and to save me some time. It's not just me investing in the hardware; it's me investing in to maintain those, that hardware too. If I have 10 machines that I want to test it on, then I want to make sure that 10 machines are working. One of them is down, then I have to, take out some time to fix that machine. I don't have time for that. So in order to avoid all of that, I would want to invest in something like this rather than getting 10 machines. And this particular platform gives me options for far more than 10 machines. How many? Over 2,000, it says somewhere. Um, Something like that. So I mean, if you combine all of that, I mean, you have a lot of options. Different versions that you can test it on, a different OS version that you can test it on. So that is why we will be using it. So you see how everything is done in the cloud. For me, I am not even compiling my code here. Yes, I am. Jenkins is, because Jenkins is running on my computer. It should essentially be running on a server, on a different machine. So from here, I would just write the code. After writing the code, I would submit it to the Git repository, the version control system that my company is using. That version control system would trigger something, and Jenkins would come in. Jenkins would fetch that code and would compile it or run it in whatever environment that you're going to run it in, and based on that, you'll get the results. So after all these tests, we're gonna, if it's completed and everything, based on whatever happens, I'll get the report in Jenkins, and then Jenkins would decide using the Maven. Where is the page in SauceLab where you can see all different web browsing versions they provide? Yeah, I was trying to look into that as well. Let's see. Maybe docs, data sheets. Uh, will be somewhere in the the documents. Uh, 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 I'll look for it. I'll send you the link. Hangout or somewhere. So, Wizard Jenkins. Oh yeah, I should have gone here as well. Uh, Doing it through Jenkins, right? Last bill was 49 seconds ago. So you see over here in the console, it actually is running Maven. It's still running. It's still compiling, it's doing the test and everything. So this essentially is actually Maven, in the background, that's what it's doing. It doesn't have its own, program for, handling all that. Why? I mean, if this is an open source and something else open source is available, then might as well just use that. I know it's just using all these tools and combining them together and just triggering it, using it at certain times. So it's just going through all of these one by one. It's going to go through all these modules and run all the tests. For now, it's only going to be testing my Amazon test, because that's how I've configured it. All the tests for all the other modules I've commented out. I will, because I was just testing the part that I was working on Amazon, which is why. So let's see. This is done. And now this is, this is a trial version, which is why it's kind of, slow. We can have up to 8 sessions, which means we can run up to 8 tests at the same time, not just one. Uh, so which is why it's taking time too. Otherwise, it would, we would have been done by this by now. Any questions, guys? We're just, pretty much waiting for it to, finish. That's it. After that, I'm just gonna show you the report. That's it. Hey, Paul. That would be based on our settings. Whatever we set it to deploy it to. Again, like we don't have like a deployment environment, so I'm not quite sure. Haven't really gotten a chance to see past this. I'll be honest. Yes, exactly. Which is what this does. If we've configured it properly, if this is configured inside the POM, that's what it is. So once we configure this inside the POM, Maven is gonna go through all of this. Maven wouldn't go past this because we haven't configured the package verify install site and deploy portion of it. Yes, no worries.
Also, like Bilal, if you get a chance, just go over the global configuration for Maven. I think I missed that. We missed that in the class.
How to install Maven?
No, not the installation. Just the global URL. I think one of them was JDK and one of them for Jet
Oh,
and the third one.
For Jenkins, for Jenkins,
Yeah, for Jenkins. Yeah.
not Maven.
No, no, not
Okay,
Maven. One
yeah,
for Jenkins.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, let's see. You see, success. So basically, all the tests passed, and let's see. There you go, a blue sign. It's a success. Over here, we have the report and everything. So last bill, number 8, was 11 minutes ago. So last stable build number 8, 11 minutes ago. So it's stable because all the tests passed. So it was also successful. And the unstable build number was number 6, which was over here. So because the test didn't pass, so it's unstable. So we can set it the way we want to. If it's unstable, still deploy it. If it's not, don't do it, stuff like that. So let's go in the Jenkins configuration. So you go in Manage Jenkins and you go in Global Tool Configuration. What you need to put here is because Jenkins is using your JDK to compile it, your Maven to run the cycle, the life cycle of running the test and everything. So that is why you need to tell it where these things are, these guys are, and also it's using JIT to, clone the project, clone your project from GitHub, clone your code. It's gonna put it in local, like one of the local folders. It's gonna download everything. After downloading, it's gonna compile it, and then it's gonna run the test. So that's how this thing works. So for the JDK installations, you go in here and you enter the name of the JDK. What JDK do you have? You can have multiple JDKs. So you can try it in an older one. You can try it in the newer one. So this is 1.8. You can have a 1.7. This doesn't necessarily mean that you have to, copy it exactly, but I've just done it to get the exact build number. So it's 1.8.0 underscore 111. So that's the one that I'm using. Maybe after a while they come up with a newer one. And I mean, again, maybe I have invested millions of dollars. I mean, I would want to test in every single platform. So I would even, go ahead to an extent and try it on, different versions of Java if I'm able to successfully compile it or not, or something like that. Maybe my company is all over the world. Some places there are older servers, some places they're using 1.7, some places they're using 1.8. A newer one comes out, in a couple of days, and then that will be 1.9. So some of my machines are 1.8. Some of my machines are running 1.9, but I'm in the process of updating all of those. So during that time, I don't want to have a downtime, and I'll just add another environment JDK installation here, where it would use both of these to, you see over here, I can just select the which environment I want, and it can download that for me. So download it and, install it. So I don't even have to. The reason that we are providing it over here is because um, it was already installed on my computer, so we don't want to have another instance of that. So under the library Java virtual machines, you have the JDK and contents and home. This is the JDK home folder, Java home folder. So this is the variable that Java would set in your Windows machine as well. If you go in your environment variables under the system variables, you will see a name of the variable that is Java home. That is this one. A lot of programs just want to grab Java instead of asking you for it where the Java home is. So if it can't get it, then it will ask for you. Let's say we run the IntelliJ IDE. So it will first look for this system variable and what value it holds. So if it's present, then it'll go, okay, I found the Java home, and I'll use this one. So this folder would have the Java compiler that I can use, and I don't have the I have to ask the user to input the path for it. So it's going to skip that part. It can only skip if the name of the path is written this way under this variable, and not just the path but the variable as well. So it adds this variable in the system environment Java home where it would have the path. So you enter the value for this one, a Java home folder. So this is also called Java home folder. Then you need to configure your JIT installation. So where the name of the JIT is just going to be default. You can have whatever, and you just set the path to JIT executable, where the JIT executable is, down to the program name. If it's Windows, then you would be entering it to like this .exe. Locate the exact file, executable file, and then you go ahead and enter the path over here. So this specifically GIT is the executable that resides in bin, local, and USR folder. So that's what I'm entering it over here. Then it needs the Maven. I'm not using I'm not using Gradle, I'm using Maven. So I'm just gonna go in Maven. I'm gonna enter the name of the Maven again. That's if I'm using different versions of Maven, I can add different Maven, and it's gonna use different Mavens to compile it and try it. Since in my case I only have this one, and I'm gonna give it the value, I'm gonna give it the path of the Maven folder where Maven resides, where this file is mbn, this executable resides. That is where this is asking. So
Okay. So Bilal, like for Maven and JDK, we don't need the executable, just the
no,
path for the folder.
it says over here, right here. So you don't have to
Right.
remember it, Othman. It says Java
Uh,
home. That means
right.
the value for that.
That's a
Path
variable.
to the
Right.
executable. So you give it the executable. So it says
Right.
Maven home. You give it the path of the Maven.
Right. But for the Git, you have to
Yeah.
give it the path and the program, which is either one, the
Yeah.
program file x86 or program file, until you get the executable,
Yes.
um, the Git executable, which is
Yes.
under pen.
I found out when I was trying to help Salma on her computer. I was setting this up the other day, and I was trying to run it, and it would give me an error. So that is when I figured I wrote, I read this thing executable. I just added exe and like added the entire like the file name as well, and it worked. So that's how I figured out, that this is how it's supposed to go.
Yes, true, because I think that was my problem. I was just providing the path, just like I did with the JDK and the Maven, which is not correct. They needed the exact executable with this
Yes.
Maven.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Any other question, guys?
Thank you, Bilal. I really appreciate that.
No
So
problem.
you probably need some rest right now. Drink some water. You need a break. You do need a break. We have
Yeah,
covered a lot of stuff. Thanks.
I wasn't expecting it to go for this long. I was kind of, thinking that how I'm gonna spend the 3 hour. I mean, I may not have enough stuff, but when I was, going through the code, and when I ended up running the first test, and I looked at the time, it was 7:30, and I was like, really? It took me this long to set it up? It's really because I wasn't entirely prepared for this session. My apologies, guys. I mean, I was just, struggling with the other things. Setting up the code and everything last night, so I was doing that. So that's why. Otherwise, I probably would have tried a lot harder. Thank you, guys. Thank you as well.